Your participation.
And welcome to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Game 3 of the weekend series between the Quincy Hawks and Tampa Spartans is set to get underway. Your number 1 ranked Tampa Spartans entered today with the loss on the record column from yesterday. It was a 9-2 Spartan defeat against Quincy. Tampa kept it close for a while, but just couldn't get anything going on offense and will be looking for a rebound today. The good news for Spartan fans, Jake Stipp has been on fire to start the season. He's thrown 9 innings in his first 2 starts, striking out 9 and only giving up 1 solitary run. The left-hander was part of our 3-headed monster of starters last year and remains the electric Game 3 starter for today. Let's take a look at how Quincy line up trying to take the series against the Spartans. They enter with a 2-3 record thanks to yesterday's win. Leading off will be David Broughton, followed by Matt Mateo. Batting in third is Joe Huffman, and J.D. Ortiz bats in fourth. Batting in fifth is Carson Moreno, who had a home run yesterday, and batting in sixth is Isaiah Fudge. Batting in seventh is John Nisbet, making the start at catcher. Batting in eighth is Jake Vitale, and rounding out the order is Ben Deloff. They'll have Drager on the mound when we roll to the bottom of the first. The only change in the starting lineup is Nisbet getting the start over Blaze from yesterday. It'll be interesting to see how the right-hander does. Quincy, for the most part, keeping their batting order the same, despite taking on a left-handed arm for the Spartans. Leading off for Quincy, it is Broughton, who had a solid day yesterday. He had 6 at-bats, 3 RBIs, and 3 base hits. He did go down on 2 strikeouts, however. Here's the 1-0. He'll take inside for strike 1. Quincy as a team had 9 hits, scored 9 runs. They also had a lot of swings and misses, 15 strikeouts as a team yesterday. Stipp would like to get a first one right here. It's a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball in the dirt. Easy throw for Irigoyen, and that's the first out of the inning. That'll bring Mateo. Let's take a look at the Spartans' defense real quick. We've got Jordan Williams out in left field, Maddox King in center field, and Edgardo Villegas out in right field. Karstetter at third base, Saladino at short, Woodburn at second, Russo at first, Irigoyen behind home plate, notably J.D. Urso out of the starting lineup for the Spartans. We'll mention a couple more of those changes when we roll to the top of the Spartan order in the bottom of the first. That may be coming sooner than expected. Stipp gets 2 strikes immediately on Mateo. He was hitless yesterday, but reached on 2 walks and scored as a runner twice. Almost strike 3, but just missed. And that hits him. Stipp just misses the location of his fastball. That would have been close to a strike if the right or left-hander batter's box was the right-hander's batter's box. But instead, plunks him, gives him the free base. Tampa's had a couple of hit-by pitches across the weekend. There were 4 yesterday from the Spartans. Not ideal to start here in the top of the first, but it opens up a double play opportunity for the infield to try to turn. Swing and a miss, 0-1. A big whiff by Huffman to start the at-bat. Huffman went 1 for 3 yesterday. Here's the 0-1. Down low, make it 1-1. If you're just tuning in, maybe you just remembered that our game was 1 hour early. Thank you for stopping by. The reason that the game is 1 hour early is because we've got rain on the horizon, predicted to roll around this afternoon. It's impeding other Florida sports events today, notably the Daytona 500. Well, we can play baseball with a little bit of rain, a little bit harder to race 200 miles an hour on a 2.5-mile track. The 1-2 after that foul ball from Huffman. Pickoff throw by Stipp. We saw Quincy get aggressive on the base path yesterday. They capitalized with a few stolen bases. Broughton, Huffman, and Daloff all had steals, but the big noticeable player for stolen bases yesterday was Jordan Williams. However, that'll be strike 3 and a double play. There was a violation on the base path or something that allowed the strikeout to combine with the runner caught stealing. So that'll do it for the top of the first. Stipp gets 2 strikeouts and gets the final out thanks to a good throw by Irigoyen. Whatever the call was, we'll be back at the bottom of the first.
Faculty officers for UT.
Welcome back to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Bottom of the first, ready to begin. On the mound today for Quincy is Ben Drager. Drager had the most successful opening start of any of his Quincy teammates, going 5 innings, striking out 6, and only giving up 2 runs. He'll be looking to close out the series against the Spartans. We'll have to see what the senior from Morton, Illinois does. Here's your Tampa lineup today. Leading off, we've got Jordan Williams. He'll be followed by Edgardo Villegas, then J.D. Urso. He is in the lineup, but he's playing as the DH. Cole Russo is batting in 4th, Irigoyen batting in 5th, Woodburn batting in 6th, Harstetter batting in 7th, Saladino batting in 8th, and King rounding out the order. The changes for the Spartans are Irigoyen and King getting into the lineup. And also that defensive change of Urso to DH. And now, it's Jordan Williams at the plate. Yesterday, Williams was able to achieve Spartan history in the 7-run defeat. He recorded 5 stolen bases on the day, and he was caught at third one of the times he tried it. What a good bunt by Williams, but it's foul for strike 1. But 5 stolen bases for Williams yesterday. That tied the all-time single-game Spartan stolen base record. That's a pretty impressive feat to accomplish. Taking a look at the records books, there were 2 players that had matched that 5 stolen base in 1 game total. Lance Chambers against Florida Atlantic back in 1992, and Nick DeTringo at Albany State back in 2018. That's going to miss, as it's going to be 0-2 now for Williams. Couldn't put it on the ground. Williams now has 13 stolen bases in his first 7 starts and 8 appearances as a Spartan. Strike 3! Great location by Drager. That was a close call. In his final at bat yesterday, Williams saw a couple of offerings that were close to the zone and barely got by for strikes. A repeat of that today as Villegas steps up to the plate. By the way, today's umpires are Nelson Fraley and Jose Torres. Strike one. Bit of a cloudy day here at the University of Tampa. Not a surprise, given that rain won't be too far around the corner. But from what my AccuWeather app says, we should likely be wrapped up with the 9 innings by the time we do experience any showers. However, Drager quickly gets 2 strikes on Villegas. Popped up. Might be tricky to read in the cloudy sky. Huffman comes up with the catch, 2 away.
The batter is the designated hitter, number 11, J.D. Urso.
So interesting to see Coach Urso moving J.D. to DH today. Tampa as a whole had a couple of errors on the infield and outfield. It's hard to win a baseball game when you have 4 errors. I'm not sure if Urso had any, but Urso gets a rest from fielding and can just focus at the plate today. Drager misses the zone for ball 1. Missing the zone, make it 2-0. Urso in the driver's seat early in this at-bat. Good spot for the fastball. The Nisbet frame probably didn't affect it that much. That was a good location. Make it 2-1. That's going to be hit to third. And the throw's on target for a 1-2-3 inning from Drager. He keeps the Spartans quiet as we enter the top of the second, still tied. And for the first time this weekend, we exit the first inning scoreless.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. Of jobs and internships.
And we're back at the University of Tampa alongside Game 3 of this series. This is also our Greek life game for the Spartans today, where a lot of the different organizations on campus have come out to the ballpark to not only cheer on our Spartans, but engage in some fun activities in the middle of innings. Good pickup by Russo, 1 away now in the top of the second on the very first pitch. Because it is the Greek life game for the Spartans, I don't know if that's the actual title of it. I think that's just what I'll call it because it's kind of a catchy name for it. We got a lot more students in the stands today, which is great to see. If you are listening from your dorm or in the area and want to come to a Spartan game in the relative future, well, you can always stop by on Friday, Saturday, and next Saturday for our first game of Sunshine State Conference play. The Spartans will take on Lynn over that 3-game, 2-day series. 1-1. Big swing and a miss now. It's Moreno at the plate. He had a 350 to 60-foot home run yesterday down the left field line. Line drive, and that's going to get down for a base hit. First hit for either team. A single for Moreno.
Now batting second baseman, number 8, Isaiah Fudge.
Here comes Fudge to the plate. Yesterday was a tough day for the Spartans, but you have to mention the performance of C.J. Williams. Despite conceding some untimely base hits and a couple of runs, he struck out 10 Quincy Hawks batters over 4 2/3 innings. That means 10 of his 14 outs he recorded were strikeouts. Safe, good hustle as Fudge beats the throw on the sacrifice bunt. Perfectly placed, and even though Karstetter was able to get to it, he couldn't get the throw in time. 2 aboard and 1 away. I am usually not a fan of laying down a bunt with 1 away to advance the runner, but I think it is more effective at a level here at D2 at the collegiate level than at a higher professional level because the fielding is slightly weaker. You do get more errors and more miscues from time to time. At the professional level, you see less of those mistakes. The fundamentals are pretty much completely locked in for the best of the best players throughout the baseball world. College, some of them are still growing and developing. And even some of our stars that have played in D1 before. Although that time, as the count goes 1-1, I don't think you could blame Karstetter or Stipp. That was just a very well-placed bunt from Fudge. One to Nisbet. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball from Stipp gets him ahead 1-2. This would be a very useful strikeout. A sacrifice move to advance the runners would be annoying for Stipp. He'd rather keep them at first and second. Just down low on the breaking ball. 2-2. Looking ahead for Quincy, they'll continue their Southern America trip in Georgia, taking on Albany State on Tuesday, and then Georgia Southwest State on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 4 games over 5 days. They'll certainly be enjoying their rest day tomorrow, and they'd like to enter that rest day with a win. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, and Stipp gets strikeout number 2. 2 aboard, 2 away. A hit would score the runners.
The left fielder, number 6, Jake Lytle.
That's going to miss. Ball 1. Hitting the zone, make it 1-1 now. Lytle trying to keep this inning alive. Missing, make it 2-1. This is a great at-bat, though, for Stipp. He's facing a left-handed batter. You always like it when you have the platoon advantage as a pitcher. Line drive. Picked up by Rousseau. Flip to Stipp. Safe. A sliding play. Beats the throw as Stipp fires it over to Karstetter, trying to catch the runner who took a couple extra steps. That was a tricky play down the first base line. Vitale hustles to get the bases loaded, barely beating Stipp to the bag. 2 outs now for Daloff, bottom of the Quincy order. Certainly know that Coach Schissel would love the hustle on that one from Vitale. Ball 1, Stipp missing away. And now the pressure is pretty high for the left-hander. One and one. Stipp checks the wrist. Here's the pitch. 1-2, one more strike and he's out of the jam. And even though he's facing a right-handed batter, his changeup seems to work pretty well against those opposite-handed bats. The 1-2. That broke down into the dirt, but didn't get the swing. 2-2. If you're Daloff, you have to protect. It's a risky play to keep the bat on your shoulder. And he'll swing at the outside pitch. Strike 3. Stipp leaves him loaded. And we stay tied through 1.5. Great escape for Jake Stipp. We'll be back in the bottom of the second.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president, and
Here, I think let's come back. And we are about to get underway in the bottom of the second. Welcome back to the University of Tampa on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. I'm Taylor Story. We've got Alex Dollard running the show as he has all weekend. I am running solo today on the commentary, unfortunately. But Tampa's offense is not running solo at the plate. You've got Cole Russo. You've got offense right around the corner. You'll be looking for some revenge after a couple of high leverage strikeouts yesterday. Had one with the bases loaded, had one with 2 runners aboard. He did, however, get an RBI, though. He'll take strike 1 as that breaking ball hits the zone. On the ground, foul, make it 0-2. Russo's hitting .462 entering today's game with a 1,000 slugging percentage. 8 of his 12 hits have been for extra bases, 3 home runs, 5 doubles. When Russo gets contact, it's very good contact. And once again, we'll get a clean base hit. It's only a single, but it puts the first Spartan base runner on the base path. And that'll bring up Irigoyen to the plate. He was replaced by Garavito yesterday, batting .278 for the season, matching the Tampa team average. Him and Garavito are a pretty fearsome catching platoon, 2 of the stronger batters in the Sunshine State Conference. first pitch from Drager. Almost hits Irigoyen, ball 1. Irigoyen joins the Spartans from the SSCF. And he's going to get hit on the arm. He'll get a free base. 2 aboard and no one out. Both Quincy and Spartan arms trying to shake off the off-season rust, as we have had a handful of hit-by pitches. Sometimes you'd see animosity from the teams because of that, but it's honestly just skill issues on the parts of the players on the mound. They know there's no hard feelings involved. Coach Schissel says that he always enjoys working with Joe Urso, scheduling these matchups between the Hawks and Spartans. They've had a few matchups over the past couple seasons. And you imagine that if they don't face off again next year, you do expect the Hawks to either come back to Tampa or Tampa travels up to Quincy for later seasons. Although, given that Quincy is coming from Illinois, probably be easier for them to come down here instead of us to go up north to the colder temperatures of Illinois. Beautiful weather this time of year in Florida, and the cloudy day keeps things relatively quiet. .80 degrees with an 88 real feel today. Line drive knocks the glove off of Drager, flip to second. They get the out just in time. Runners at the corners with 1 away. Impressive recovery by Drager. That one left the bat of Woodburn in a hurry as it knocked Drager's glove off. I have not seen that happen. They literally popped it right off his hand. 1 away now for Karstetter. When you have a player like Kevin Karstetter batting 7th, you know you're spoiled for choice on offense. Karstetter, I think, still warming up to the Spartans. He's recorded a couple extra base hits this season. Notably, that bases clearing triple against Quincy in Game 1 of the series. Almost hit him on the arm, would have loaded the bases. Ball 1 from Drager. Karstetter joins the Spartans from Arizona State. He batted, I believe it was .270 there last season. Had a .234 slash line. Foul backwards. I actually think he had a .370 on base percentage. His average was close to that, but not exactly on the 70 mark. Either way, great numbers in D1. And one of our strongest offseason acquisitions from the portal. Let's see what Karstetter can do here. He would like to avoid the double play if possible. Runner goes. And holding on to it will be Nisbet. Doesn't want the double steal to happen. We saw Quincy execute a double steal yesterday, catching Garavito off guard. 2 in scoring position for the Spartans makes the double play a lot harder. It also gets Karstetter ahead in the count, 2-1. That'll hit him to load the bases. Drager's command slipping. Yeah, oh, no. Unmute real quick. So we're back. Bases loaded, a mound visit on the way. As we continue. So they're keeping Drager in the game as Saladino steps to the plate. I do apologize, I believe our live stats webpage is still down, but bases are loaded. And we could see a change of the scoreboard very quickly. Ball one missing inside, and Saladino gets ahead. 2 hit by pitches in the inning from Ben Drager. That second one's going to be a lot costlier, arguably, than the first because it loaded the bases. And now Saladino has a lefty-righty matchup. Deep fly ball by Saladino. It's tracked in center field and caught. 2 away now. Runners from third and second advance 90 feet, and Tampa takes a 1-0 lead off the sac fly. And that is a timely hit for the Spartans as King will step up to the plate. So for Tampa, it did not keep them perfect, but what it did do was bring home a run. And now King, a fan favorite, as the crowd stands up. He's going to drive one down the line. There it goes, off the wall. 2-0 Spartan lead. An RBI double for Maddox King. The Spartans faithful loving that extra base hit from the sophomore. One of the best freshmen in the Sunshine State Conference last year delivers. Here comes Jordan Williams to the plate as the momentum begins to tilt for the Spartans and the Quincy bullpen gets ready. They don't want to make the change, but if Drager can't escape the jam, they might have to. You can tell the momentum and the energy has shifted towards Tampa. Fouled. The breaking ball had Williams going around just a little early. Two nothing Spartan lead. Runners at second and third. The 0-1 to Williams. Swing and a miss. One more strike and Drager would escape the jam. Williams in a bit of trouble. He couldn't get on board in his last at-bat. And that's a line drive, but it should stay in play. It's caught in center field and the side is retired. But a sac fly and Maddox King double put the Spartans ahead 2-0 in the bottom of the second. For each of the 3 games of the series, Tampa have scored the first runs. We'll be right back. Broughton leads off for Quincy. Well, welcome back to the University of Tampa. 2-0 Spartans lead here in the top of the third. The crowd got excited for Maddox King, and he made the fans happy with an RBI double. Update across Tampa sports today. It's just tennis and baseball, and unfortunately for us, not the best of days for Spartans tennis. Barry has had our numbers so far, as there's a deep fly ball that is caught in right field. Good catch by Villegas, one away. Stipp got some support from the offense after escaping the bases loaded jam last time. That'll hopefully give him the confidence to keep going.
The right fielder, Matt Mateo.
Here comes Mateo to the plate. This time, the double wasn't headed his way. That brought home an RBI. Flip to first. Mateo beats it by a step. A little bit of chaotic fielding from the Spartans has continued throughout today. Russo a little surprised, asking the umpire about it. It's felt like some of the calls this weekend kind of go back and forth. Tampa, I think, have had some of the better calls to the plate, but on the base path, it feels like Quincy have had a slight advantage there. And it's a single for Mateo, and there's a pickoff throw to keep him safe. I believe we've got President's Day on Monday, so it should be a long weekend. Also a good reason for Spartans students to come out in full force. Safe on the pickoff throw. Huffman at the plate, Ortiz on deck. They're both 0 for 1 today. Hoping to turn their days around, as Mateo's been starting to heat up at the plate. Good spot, good frame. 0-2. Drager got out of the inning, so the Quincy bullpen is empty now. But, you know, when you're in a bases loaded spot and struggling to get out of a jam, it wasn't a surprise to see them start to warm someone up. Ooh, almost got strike 3, a little bit low. So it's 1-1. I think I was a little bit too far ahead in my count recollection. And it was another pickoff throw by Stipp. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Runner stays put, and that's fouled away. Tipped foul. Huffman was checking his swing. Couldn't get ahead of the count as that was missing the zone because it just got knocked away. Another pickoff throw. Mateo safe again. Popped up. Russo chasing. That is out of reach as it rolls through the bullpen. And still 1-2. Here comes Stipp one more time. Down to the dirt, bouncing away from Irigoyen. And Mateo gets to second safely. Swing and a miss on the 2-2. The lengthy fight between Stipp and Huffman ends with a Stipp strikeout. He's now got 5 in the game. 2 away, runner in scoring position. Lefty on lefty matchup for Stipp. Ball 1, good block by Irigoyen. That could have slipped away from him. Runner goes, no, he stays back, ball 2. He's taking a bit of aggressive leads, maybe trying to get in the heads of Stipp and Irigoyen. Couple of mind games on the base path. Ball 3 somehow missing. A dangerous player on deck in Moreno. You definitely don't want to walk him if you're Stipp, but that might be happening. And that is strike 1. Stipp keeps the at-bat going. And that's ball 4. Couldn't paint the inside corner. Here comes Moreno with 2 away, and now 2 aboard.
The first baseman, Carson Moreno.
Last time around, Moreno recorded a base hit. Doing so here would likely cut the deficit to 1. On the ground and foul. 0-1. That's going to miss. 1-1. Would have been big for Stipp to get that second strike. Here comes the 1-1. Missing outside, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. One more strike and Stipp would get out of yet another jam. One more time, swing and a miss. 6 Stipp strikeouts over 3 innings, and 2 Hawks are left on base. 2-0. Spartans lead entering the bottom of the 3rd. Great escape for Jake Stipp.
take advantage.
We're ready to resume at the University of Tampa. Villegas, Urso, and Russo do up for the Spartans. Stipp, with 6 strikeouts over 3 innings, escapes yet another perilous situation. Ball 1, and Villegas will get ahead. Last time around, Villegas had a pop-out. He was able to also have a stolen base yesterday, showcasing his speed. He'll level the count at 1-1. The 1-1 misses. The frame attempt not good enough from Nisbet. Villegas able to take the early lead. Drager got out of a perilous situation previously. Here comes the 2-1. Missing away again. Villegas up 3-1 now. Drager gets set. Will Tampa get a leadoff base runner? Yes. Ball 4. My friend and colleague Jack Ike always said the old thing coaches would tell their players to warn them about these leadoff walks is that they'll score a run 60% of the time. However, the truth is that a leadoff walk doesn't score a run any more often than just any other at-bat that leads to a runner on first and no one out. Now here's J.D. Urso, Spartan legend, fan favorite. There goes Villegas, throw. Not in time. Villegas barely stayed on the bag as he slid a little far. The turf can be hard to judge on those sliding plays. Tampa has a runner in scoring position on a 1-0 count. Good slider from Drager. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Urso, deep drive to left field. It is caught. Vitale didn't have to move that far, but it still was a bit of a scary situation nonetheless. 1 away. That's going to bring up Cole Russo. Russo delivered a base hit in his previous plate appearance, and he later scored back in the 2nd inning. Here comes 1 away. Swing and a miss. And 0-1 for Russo. Swing and a miss. 0-2 for Russo. Bit aggressive to start the at-bat. Just couldn't get contact that time. And good take by Russo as that misses outside. The 1-2 missing away. Make it 2-2. we go again. Drager, Russo. On the ground. That'll advance the runner, but also add a second out on the board. Here comes Uruguayan. Runner in scoring position. The 2 away. First pitch for the Spartans catcher. Last time, he was hit by a pitch which loaded the bases. Ball 1. Trying to remember if his getting hit loaded the bases or if he eventually helped fill the bases. The 1-0. Missing, make it 2-0. Just the start the Spartans were looking for. Line drive by Uruguayan. Will that get past Mateo? No, he makes the running catch, and that'll end the inning. Tampa sent a runner from first to third, but couldn't bring them home. Still a 2-0 Spartan lead through 3.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than
Isaiah Fudge.
Fudge at the plate for Quincy. Welcome back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. He singled last time. Stipp, meanwhile, has been able to escape every single jam he's been put in. Deep fly ball. And it is caught. 1 away.
All right, the catcher, John Nisbet.
Here comes Nisbet to the plate, 1 away. That's going to miss for ball 1. Make it 1-1. Make it 1-2. One more strike against Nisbet. Got it. Painted the corner. 7 strikeouts for Jake Stipp. 2 away in the inning. Stipp and the Spartans are starting to heat up. A reminder, the Spartans take on Lynn next weekend to kick off Sunshine State Conference play. Then they'll have a mixture of games on the 28th and March 1st, where they'll open up with a 1-game matchup against Ashland and then a doubleheader against Davenport. So it's not immediately into only conference play for the Spartans, but they do get an early start to conference play next week as Stipp falls behind 2-0 to Vital. Hit to second, and that'll end the inning. Excellent from Jake Stipp so far. 4 scoreless, 7 strikeouts, and Tampa leads 2-0 entering the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Braden Woodburn getting us started. 6-7-8 due up for you, Tampa. Welcome back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. A 2-0 Spartans lead. One and one now. Drager continuing on the mound. Recovered after conceding 2 runs in the bottom of the second to keep Tampa scoreless in the third. Almost hits Woodburn. Good take. Woodburn got aboard with a fielder's choice last time around. Swing and a miss, 2-2. And actually, the count was wrong. It was already 2 strikes. That's going to be the first out of the inning. Drager gets his second strikeout. Here comes 1 away for Karstedt. Foul, make it 0-1. That's going to miss. 1-1. That's going to miss as well. 2-1. Karstetter was the one to load the bases after getting hit by a pitch in the previous inning. Well, that happened again. He'll take the free base. The third hit by pitch from Drager. Here comes Saladino with one aboard. Saladino ready to go. Last time out, he had a sac fly to give the Spartans the lead. Up the middle, rolls off the mound. Not enough time for two. And good thing that grounder from Saladino bounced on the mound. Prevented Huffman from getting the first out at second. But he does get one of the outs at first. 2 away, runner in scoring position. King will hope to send him home again after getting an RBI earlier. Strike one. Good take by King. 1-1. That's going to miss as well. 2-1. Spartan fans getting a bit louder now. The 2-1 to King. Missing 3-1. Ball 4. Maddox King takes a free base. And that's going to bring Jordan Williams to the plate. Alongside some of the action of the Diamond as part of the Reach Life festivities at this game. Got a few students ready to go bobbing for apples. That should be fun. We think that might happen over the inning break. Or if we see a pitching change here, looks like we might. I think a left-hander is coming to the mound to face Jordan Williams. Drager done after 3 2/3. With 2 aboard, 2 away. Solid effort from Drager, escaped the tough spot before, but he won't get the chance here. It'll be someone new trying to put out the fire. We'll be back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to volunteer in the community, or to participate in multiple leadership.
Quincy have brought on a left-handed arm, the number 49 of Tom Ponzemius, the graduate from Deerfield. They'll take on Jordan Williams, the switch hitter, now batting righty against the left-handed arm. Tampa fans on their feet. Down the line and foul, 0-1 for Williams. Williams could really extend the Spartan advantage here in the bottom of the fourth as the sun starts to shine a little brighter on the field, breaking through the clouds on this cloudy day. Missing away 1-1. Williams hit to first, and that will get them out of the jam. Demi has suffered defeats previously, but has one of the best ERAs for Quincy and is able to get out of the jam, straining two Spartans aboard, completing the fourth inning. So as the Greek-like festivities continue here at the University of Tampa,
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president, and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our second.
Leading on the fifth inning, the center fielder, Ben Dolph.
and we're ready to go. The first pitch of the new inning. Missing outside, Daloff at the plate. He struck out last time and was looking to drop a bunt down to get us started. Fouled away. And I think a little bit out of range of the camera, but there is a beach ball going around in the crowd. Good thing we've got a net here behind home plate. Otherwise, that could get in the way of the play. Gets past Karstetter, a base hit for Daloff. Slap that through the hole. And a leadoff base runner's on the board for Quincy.
Third baseman, David Broughton.
Here comes Broughton to the plate. Strike one. Throw back. Safe. Daloff took a big lead. But he's able to go back in time. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. One more strike from Stipp, and he'd have 8 in the ball game for strikeouts. The 0-2 from Stipp. Missing away, throw back to first. They almost get him. 1-2. Popped up on the 2-2, out of play. No, going to stay in for Russo, and he'll make the catch. One away in the top of the 5th. Hard to tell with the sun and clouds where the ball was headed, but it stayed on the field of play for the Spartans.
Now batting right fielder Matt Mateo.
Line drive down to right field. It is caught. Clean hit from Mateo, but that's out number 2.
The batter is the shortstop, Joe Huffman.
That's hit to left field. That'll drop in front of Williams. The first pitch to Huffman will be a base hit. But a good relay throw keeps him at first and second.
Now batting designated hitter J.D. Ortiz.
That'll bring up Ortiz to the plate. Walked last time. Has 2 aboard with 2 away. He's the go-ahead run. Try to open the scoring for the Hawks. And here in the top of the 5th. Strike 1 hits the inside part of the plate. That'll level things up, 1-1. One and two. One more strike and Stipp's out of the jam. Up high for ball 2. The 2-2. Inside, ball 3. After Ortiz, Moreno's on deck. Will we get the bases loaded? Both runners will be moving on the payoff pitch. Stipp steps off, and we're ready to go again. He was hoping to catch someone leaving a little bit early. Runners go, hit up the middle, and Stipp picks it up to retire the side. 2 runners get aboard for Quincy, but 2 are left on the base path. Stipp is scoreless through 5 innings. We'll be back with more action on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network when we come back.
To all students and provides
2, 3, 4, 2 up for the Spartans. Villegas, Urso, and Russo. The Greek Week game continues here at the University of Tampa, and the Spartans are ahead 2-0. First pitch high and inside. In the game, Tom Konzemius. He replaced the starter, Drager, in the previous inning. Konzemius was able to get out of the jam. 2-0 now to the lefty. Smart call, though, for Quincy to go to a lefty from the bullpen. Tampa has 3 in the lineup and had a left-handed batter in Williams until he entered, because as a switch hitter, he now moves to be a right-handed batter. And Villegas is out for out number 1 on a weak grounder. Here comes J.D. Urso to the plate. The Spartan legend struggling so far today. He's 0 for 2, continuing this little cold streak he's had this weekend in terms of batting. But it'll be a matter of when he gets back on track, not a matter of if. Ball 1, he'll take outside. Even though Urso was hitless yesterday, he did get on board with 2 walks. Two and 0, missing away. Three and 0. Tough call there. Urso going to keep the bat on his shoulder. 100% taking this next offering. And now it's 3-1. Up the middle, it is dropped, even though it knocked the glove off of Konzemius. However, fell right in front of him, so had plenty of time for the throw to first. 2 away, bases empty for Cole Russo. Russo has been great this season with runners on base. However, they are empty for now. First pitch coming up for Russo. Inside, ball 1. foul, make it 1-1. Hit on the ground a second. And Konzemius has had 4. No! I was about to say 4 straight outs from the bullpen. But the throw from Fudge bounces and causes a weird hop that Moreno can't get. Tampa gets a base runner with 2 away. So an error. First of the game for the Hawks brings Irigoyen to the plate for the Spartans. Irigoyen on the ground and foul. 0-1 for the Spartans catcher, who got hit by a pitch and then lined out. His lineout was really good. It was a hard hit line drive, but Mateo had enough time to get under it. Mateo and Daloff have done a good job fielding in center and right today. 0-2 now for Irigoyen. Strike 3, throws him on the breaking ball. Didn't matter if Irigoyen went around. That landed right down the middle. And Konzemius does concede a base runner from an error. But with his first strikeout from the bullpen, he's had 4 crucial outs as we enter the top of the 6th.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to...
And we're back at the University of Tampa. Moreno leads off for the Spartans. Tampa won game 1 8-0. Tampa lost game 2 9-2. This is the all-important game 3 of this series between the Spartans and Hawks. Fastball missing the zone for ball 1. There's been a pitching change. Jake Stipp done after 5 innings with 7 strikeouts. I believe it'll be Jacob Fletcher on the mound now for the Spartans. I believe it's the 30. Trying to get a better look at his number. On the ground, And that is the first out for Jacob Fletcher, one away.
Attention, please. The pitcher for Tampa now is number 30, Jacob Fletcher.
Fletcher's had 3 appearances. Carries the team highest batting average allowed. So this time, the BABIP luck goes his way as he gets out number 1 on the ground out. Fletcher now will be facing off against Fudge. Fouled away. The full line for Stipp, over 77 pitches, is 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. Great stuff from the left-handed starter. Tampa's been active with their bullpen, primarily with their left-handers over the course of the weekend. So now the 1-1 from Fletcher to Fudge. That's going to miss as well. 2-1. Fouled. Carstetter giving chase, but that's going to land off the netting, or maybe even over the netting. Anyway, 2 strikes now to Fudge. Singled in the second. Flew out in the fourth. Chopped foul, and that lands out of play. Sort of hovered in front of home plate for a little. On the ground, Carstetter's got it at third. His throw on target. What a scoop by Russo. Out number 2.
Next inning is number 12, Evan Davis.
That'll bring Davis to the plate. Pinch hitting for Nisbet. Davis is a sophomore infielder from Waterloo. Quincy trying a change at the plate. Let's see if that can get the offense back going. Ball 1, missing. And that'll get Fletcher behind in the count. He'll stay behind. Oops. 1-1. That's going to miss outside, ball 2. That's going to be driven to right field, but foul. Clean hit from Davis, but stays out of play. Here comes the 2-2. One more strike and Fletcher's out of the inning. He gets it with a fastball. Swing and a miss. The high cheese retires the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Fletcher. Tampa only has 2 hits, but they also have 2 runs and a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back.
Rooms and
So both teams have been scoreless for almost 4 straight innings. Konzemius back in the game for Quincy. Woodburn, Karstetter, Saladino due up. Woodburn leading off. Woodburn, fly ball to right field. Doesn't have a lot of distance. Mateo makes the catch, braving the sun. 1 away. That'll bring Karstetter back to the plate. The week raffle concluded over the inning break, and there was a lucky student who was excited for having the winning number. First pitch now for Karstetter. Ball 1, missing away. Karstetter's gone on board twice because he's been hit by pitches twice. That's going to miss for ball 2. Send the count. On the ground and foul, 2-1. Foul backwards, 2-2. Konzemius ahead in the count and misses down low to go full to Karstetter. Here comes a big payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball inside, fools Karstetter, 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. Saladino now, the lefty-on-lefty matchup getting ready to begin. Konzemius has looked flawless from the bullpen. One and 0 for Saladino. He takes outside for a ball. Breaking ball missing. It's 2-0 now. Saladino in the driver's seat. fouled away, 2-1. Did he go? No, he did not. 3-1. On deck after Saladino's King. Will King get a chance with 2 outs? And that's ball 4. Saladino gets aboard with a walk. Had that sacrifice fly earlier. This is the first time he actually ends his at-bat on base. And now here comes Maddox King. King had a walk last time and an RBI double previously. His last base hit was the last run scored in the series. Can he get something again? Pickoff throw, Saladino's safe. For the season, Saladino's had 1 stolen base on 2 tries. Tampa is 22 for 28 on stolen base attempts. That's going to miss, make it 2-0. Here's the 1-0 to King. King sharply through the hole, picked up by Huffman. His throw not in time. Not every base runner could outrun that play, but Maddox King is one that certainly can. Good hustle for the single. Good grab by Huffman. 2 away for Jordan Williams. First pitch to Williams. Outside, ball 1. Quincy have someone new warming up now. Ponzemius just gave up his first base hit and walk back-to-back. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Down the line. That is foul. Just by a foot or so. Very close. Would have scored the run, maybe even both runners. 2 strikes, 2 away. One-two from Ponzemius. Williams flares that into foul territory. Chasing Moreno. Makes the catch. Good hustle from the first baseman. And the side is retired. Tampa have now left 10 base runners on board as we enter the top of the 7th. Spartans still lead 2-0.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residents.
And we're back at the University of Tampa. Fletcher ready for his second inning on the mound. Fletcher already would have had the hold if he exited in the previous inning. He's going to stay in the game a bit longer. I imagine that Tampa's also going to want to have Alfonso getting ready. He's had 2 appearances and 2 saves. Swing and a miss. 0-2 count to Vital as Fletcher continues to try to stay strong from the bullpen. Did he go? No, he did not. 1-2. Vital 1 for 2 today. Swing and a miss. Another fastball strikeout for Fletcher. And there's the first out of the top of the 7th.
Center fielder, Ben Gone.
Now it's going to be Deloff to the plate. He singled last time, got to second, but was stranded. Ball 1, good take. Irigoyen's frame attempt did not work out. One and one, good spot from Fletcher. There is activity from the Quincy bullpen. They've got another right-hander warming up. He might make a change coming into the bottom of the 7th. Fletcher has that ground ball right to Saladino. Throw on target. Good scoop by Russo. 2 away. Russo's done a great job receiving difficult throws over at first base. That one didn't have the power to reach his glove in the air, but he just kept it off the ground. And there's 2 outs now for Broughton as we roll to the top of the Quincy order one more time. Up the middle, out of reach of Fletcher. Saladino gets there and bobbles it. He had to make the quick transition. It just bounced in and out of his glove. That'll either be the 7th hit or first error for the Spartans, and looks like it'll be the latter. Bad news for Saladino. Here's Mateo to the plate. Was hit by a pitch and single. He's 1 for 3, or 1 for 2. Mateo trying to get something going. Fouled away. 0-1. We've got Raj joining us on the broadcast here in the top of the 7th. Raj,
how's it going, Taylor?
Thanks for tuning in. And how have you been enjoying the Greek Week festivities at the ballpark?
I mean, it's electric, I must tell you. We have Greek Week once a year, and every fraternity is paired with a sorority. and they have a bunch of competitions.
Safe at second on the stolen base attempt. The count goes 1-1.
Yeah, I was saying we have competitions for the week throughout, and oh my god, the energy is amazing.
You could certainly feel it today with a lot of the students in the stands. I wish we had more students for some of the baseball games. We typically get a lot of support from the other athletics teams, especially for our stand as one nights, but always good to
Definitely.
see the Spartans faithful out here cheering on the teams, and having the Greek Week competitions alongside it is excellent. And I know that your fraternity you're with does pretty good in these competitions.
Yeah, I mean, we've won 3 times in the last 4 years. So, but as I was saying, they have small competitions throughout the game for every fraternity and sorority. And hats off to the marketing team as well for setting this up. And over here, Tampa's up too. And wow, I mean,
Ball 2 missing up high. It's not only a great day off the field with these events, it's a great day so far for the Spartans.
definitely.
Fletcher trying to get Tampa out of the jam with a runner in scoring position. Broughton was able to get the steal previously.
Yeah, no, after yesterday's loss, I think Tampa needs this win more than ever.
So here's the 2-2. Fouled away, and Mateo will stay alive.
Oh, that actually lands in the stands.
Almost you could say a sold-out Spartan crowd. You even have plenty of fans over down the right field line. It's when you're looking at the center field or the home plate camera, which kind of looks outwards, past the visiting dugout, there's also a small bleacher stand that fans can watch from. As that's going to miss to make the count full, 3-2 on deck after Mateo is Huffman. And there's always a couple fans over there, but there's, I think, a few more there today.
I think the best part about Greek Week is they do a donation as well, a fundraiser for a charity. And I mean, it's good to see that they're even raising money while having fun.
It's always the best part, as there's
Yeah.
not ball 4, a hit by pitch on Mateo. That missed the zone, so it's actually a good thing that it hit Mateo, because it would have allowed the runner to advance to third. Hey, I'm curious, Raj, do you know what charity they're helping out this year for the Greek Week?
Give me a second, Taylor. Let me just check on that. It's called Make-A-Wish Southern Florida, Inc.
Makes sense. Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah.
Always giving patients of different illnesses and stuff chances to meet idols and have once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
Let's Make-A-Wish. And I think as of now, we've raised about $28,000.
Woo! Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Get fans outside of fraternities help.
Yeah. Sorry?
Can fans outside of Greek Week stuff help as well?
Yeah, I mean, you can ask them always. I mean, whoever donates, but every team gets points on the amount they raise, so
Perfect.
it's a good way to keep them motivated while raising money.
So if you're a fan listening in, you want to help out some of the fraternities and sororities with the causes,
Yeah.
I guess check out their social media pages or
Yes.
Google where you can. And Raj, which one are you on? Because we'll give yours a quick shout out for the broadcast.
I'm in Phi Gamma Delta, Fiji.
So that's a quick note for any viewers who want to help out Make-A-Wish as part of the Greek
Yeah.
Week festivities. Feel free to send some donations their way and help Raj's team out. Apologies for any viewers who support the other ones out there. Raj is a great friend of everyone here at the sports department, so we're going to give him a little,
Hey, it's
little
good
advantage.
competition, I'll tell you that.
So here we go, 2 away. We just had a pitcher's conference for Fletcher. Militello headed out to the mound. On the ground, and that should get him out of the jam. Carsetter's throw on target.
There you go.
So 2 scoreless innings for Fletcher. Even though he had 2 base runners, he got out of the jam, keeping a 2-0 Spartans lead. Now it's time for the lucky 7th. We'll be right back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. of jobs.
Whose birthday is it?
And welcome back to the University of Tampa on Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. And a quick shout out for Coach Urso's, I believe, mother-in-law. Attends every Spartans game. It's her birthday today.
Wow.
Happy
Okay.
birthday.
That is a special event, I'd say.
Certainly is. Happens only once a year.
Yeah. Hey, Coach Russo must be, well, I don't want to say happy yet.
Well, he still needs 6 more outs to
Yeah.
be, I'd say, truly happy on this
Yeah.
day. Tampa hoping to maybe get a second shutout or at least another W in the win column.
Mm-hmm.
Leading off is going to be Valdez. He replaces the previous player in the lineup as a pinch hitter, and he is going to, which was Villegas, and he'll open up against Consumias. First pitch from the left-hander who stays in the game. Ball 1. Yesterday, Valdez entered the game off the bench. He struck out in his lone plate appearance. He replaced Jake Griffith. At-breaking ball missing down low. Sees a quick conference on the mound. And I think they wanted to see if he had any gas left in the tank. The answer, no. Consumias done after 36 pitches. 2 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 walk. Solid scoreless frames from the bullpen. We'll be right back with more action on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
Well, stay tuned. We still have a slight delay before we resume play. We'll be back with more action on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
Actually, yeah. So, welcome back to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We had a bit of a delay because the start of the inning saw the first pitch thrown by Konzemius, and they ultimately decided to pull him mid at bat. The question that Coach Urso and the umpires had to answer was whether you could pull someone in the middle of the at bat when they start an inning. Well, the answer is yes, because we have Logan Miller onto the mound. Now, I know there's a batter's rule where you have to face, I think, 3 batters from the bullpen in the major leagues, where you can't really do the loogie rule anymore, where you bring on like a lefty to face one guy. But I don't think that rule counts for someone throwing one pitch in the inning getting changed, especially because Konzemius had already wrapped up 2 1/3 innings of work. So we've got a 1-0 count with Griffith at the plate. And actually, so we have seen a counter pinch hit from the Spartans. Valdez took ball 1, and now Griffith takes strike 1. That's probably where some of the extra deliberation was at. So a bit of roster shuffling between the Spartans and Hawks as Griffith levels in the count 2-1. We saw the lefty exit the game on the mound, or righty enter the game at the plate, righty enter the game on the mound, righty exit the game at the plate. 3-1 now for Griffith. He might get his free base as Urso's on deck. Will Griffith get on base? Not yet. The count goes full on that foul ball. That would have been a strike either way. Good to swing away. The payoff pitch on the ground. But foul will go again. The umpire was calling off that play immediately. So here we go again. The 0-2 to Griffith. Ball 4. The 3-2. I don't know why I was saying 0-2. Here comes Urso to the plate.
Batting designated hitter, J.D. Urso.
Urso's 0 for 3 so far. 3 outs in play. We'll see if Urso can turn things around this time. Runner goes. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Throw to second is not in time. They got him. The umpire had a better vantage point. It looked like he was comfortably safe at second. Good throw from Blaze, who entered the game as a pinch fielder. 1 away for Urso. Now 1 strike. That must have been a picture-perfect tag. Swing and a miss, 0-2. So here's the 0-2. Ball 1 missing away. Here comes the 1-2. And hits Urso. He's going to get aboard. Another hit by pitch today to bring up Cole Russo.
First baseman Cole Russo.
There is a hole down the first base line since Moreno has to cover first for the base stealing threat of Urso. That would open up a pulled base hit. We'll see if Russo does just that. Ball one away. Urso stays put. Wonder if coach will send him. Here's the 1-0. On the ground and foul, make it 1-1. Deep fly ball by Cole Russo. Going, caught at the warning track. Nice play by Deloff. Urso makes it back to first safely. Just a few feet shy of his fourth home run. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. We saw some Spartans fans getting excited, and then it was just cheers from the Hawks fans after the catch was made. 2 away for Irigoyen. Unfortunate for Russo. That was a very well hit baseball. Hit up the middle, picked up at second, nice grab, and he tags the base with his glove. Fudge ends the inning with great defensive ingenuity, and the side is retired. Tampa gets a base runner. There's a little bit of drama to start the inning, but a clean play to end it. 6 outs to go for the Spartans. We're headed to the top of the 8th.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to volunteer in the community,
Brand new inning. Michael Alfonso in the game, looking for a 6-out save, I'd assume. Ball one. They'll open against Ortiz, Moreno, and Fudge. As part of the Greek Week celebrations, the end of the previous inning saw the announcements of the results of the poster competition, as there's a deep fly ball. That's going to be caught on the run by Williams. 1 away in the top of the 8th. Griffith enters the game in right field. Griffith enters the game in left field. Williams shifts over to right field. Going back to some of the changes, we're going back to the middle inning festivities. Some of the sororities and fraternities able to celebrate the results of their poster competition, as that's fouled backwards. Team Descendants is the name of the team that ultimately won with their poster. Congratulations. As Alfonso gets a swing and a miss for strike 2. Alfonso has been locked down for the Spartans this season. 3 innings with 4 strikeouts and only 1 base runner allowed. He could be Tampa's first true closer since Braden Nelson's graduation. He works that fastball and splitter extremely well. Nelson had been the long-time closer for the Spartans, and last year Tampa sort of had a rotating staff of relievers handling the 9th innings until Anthony Nunez was able to handle the final innings later in the season alongside J.P. Gates. Definitely helps that Nunez went from a third baseman to a two-way player with his 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Swing and a miss, and Alfonso gets his first strikeout. 2 away in the top of the 8th. Best part for the Spartans is that Alfonso's only a sophomore. If he stays elite, Tampa could have their closer situation settled for years to come. Strike 1. So far today, Fudge started the game with a leadoff single in the second. 2 outs since. Just up high, it's ball 1. As you mentioned before, Tampa kicks off Sunshine State Conference play next weekend. Friday, Saturday, against Lynn University. That's going to make it 2-1. Meanwhile, Quincy continues to stay in the South next weekend. On Tuesday, they take on Albany State. On Thursday, they take on Georgia Southwestern State University. First game on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. First game for Tampa on Friday is on 6 p.m. and then 1 and 4 p.m. doubleheader. 3-1 could concede a walk. Fudge ahead in the count. Blaze is on deck, looking for his first plate appearance. Came off the bench as a defensive change after there was a pinch hit appearance for Nisbet. Strike 2. Full count for Fudge. Up the middle, just out of reach. It's a base hit. Two outs, a force out at seconds on the board. Here comes Blaze as the tying run.
Now batting, the catcher, Byron Blaze.
First pitch from Alfonso. Hit to third. Picked up by Karstetter. Gets the force at second to get out of the inning. 1 inning down. 1 inning to go for Alfonso. We're entering the bottom of the 8th as Tampa hopes to extend the 2-0 advantage. We'll be right back.
One left. We head to the bottom of inning number 8. Still Tampa 2, Quincy nothing.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000.
Leading off for the Spartans, it's Braden Woodburn. Welcome back to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Tampa has one final chance to extend their advantage before we hit Last Chance Saloon, as Tampa looks to win the rubber match and close out the series. Ball one. Looking ahead for other Spartan sports, there is some activity that'll be going on this week. Got women's and men's basketball as the Spartans take on Florida Tech on Wednesday night. Then on Friday, Tampa softball travels to Lynn as Lynn comes here to face our Spartans baseball team. Up the middle, Woodburn gets the base hit past the diving Huckman. First hit of the day in 3 tries for Woodburn. One aboard, no one out. Here comes Karstetter. Spring sports are truly underway for the Spartans. We're in our 3rd week of D2 baseball as D1 baseball kicks off their opening week of the season. It'll be interesting to see if Alex Caney gets an appearance for Ole Miss in Game 3 of their series. That starts at 2:30 p.m. today. Caney, the former Spartan ace, transferred to Ole Miss in the offseason. Getting a chance now to play in the SEC. Home with some of the best pitchers in college baseball and MLB stars like Ben Joyce and Paul Skeens. 0-1. Runner goes. Karstetter with the bunt. It is going to fall, and it was fair. A bit of confusion between Blaise and Muller. Karstetter gets on safely. That almost turned out bad. If Muller or Blaise made the catch, they would have easily doubled up Woodburn, as that was a bunt and run. Wonder if Saladino will try to advance the runners again. That is given to Karstetter as a single. First pitch now to Saladino. He's going to go for a bunt. Ball one. Broughton looking to run in, so will Moreno. And Saladino will be ready to hustle when it gets on the ground. King and Williams both on deck. Outside, ball two. Tampa has a full 6 days until their next game on Friday, or 5 days. So they can be a little more aggressive with their bullpen if they need to. Quincy has to play on Tuesday, so that's an obvious disadvantage if they have to go through more of their bullpen here. Ball three, and Saladino is now ahead 3-0 as Muller has been working away every single time. You know Saladino is going to try to bunt it. You got to just locate it down the middle. You don't want to load the bases with no one out, especially in a game that is still up for grabs. Quincy have had multi-run innings before. Pulls away, and that is strike one over the heart of the plate. A little high, but just in the zone. One more chance for Saladino to drop the bunt down. Maybe he swings away. The infield corners playing all the way in. That's going to hit the zone for strike two. Saladino pulled away because it looked like it was ending up inside. But ultimately, it's going to make the count full. So it'll be hard to advance the runners here. Now onto the payoff pitch. Fielders back to normal depth. Ball 4, and Saladino works a walk to load the bases. I think Mueller might have approached that the wrong way. Should have been more aggressive, allowing the sacrifice to happen, trusting the fielders. And now King, Williams, and Griffith are due up with the bases loaded and no one out. The game could get blown wide open right here. And we are going to get a quick mound visit before doing so. They've got some action in the bullpen. I don't think they'll go to it yet. Actually, looks like they will. A lefty is coming in to face King. Mueller done after a full inning and 3 players getting on board in a row. We'll be back with the bullpen change right after this.
Thousand-seat historic theater.
Brand new at bat at the University of Tampa. Now in the game is Aiden Collins, the redshirt freshman, featured once for 2/3 of an inning. He ultimately gave up a base hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. We'll be hoping for a better outing to continue this season. But it's not going to be easy. The bases are loaded and there's no one out. 0-1 count now for Maddox King, who delivered a clutch base hit in the first inning. He's gone on board in each of his 3 times today. 2 hits and a walk. That's going to get away, and Tampa takes a 3-0 lead. Just got away from Blaze, and Woodburn scores from third. That also allows Karkstetter and Saladino to advance. Bases no longer loaded. Tampa's got an extra run. Up the middle. Won't score a run. Close play at first. King is out. Still runners at second and third because it was fielded quickly in the infield. Karkstetter thought better at trying to beat the throw home. Sacrifice opportunity still on the board for Williams. A 3-0 Spartans lead. Williams fouls back, and it's 0-1. That's going to be picked up in the dirt. Good block by Blaze. 1-1 for Williams. Swing and a miss. Blaze can't find the ball. It's 1-2. Blaze does eventually find it. Didn't get too far away to allow the runner to score. Now the 1-2. In the dirt, good take by Williams. Infield playing in. Williams sends that to left field. It'll be caught, but can it score the run? Relay, not in time. Sac fly from Williams. 4-0 Spartans lead. Alfonso is still in line for the save should he stay in the game. He entered with a Tampa 3-run lead, or 2-run lead. 2 away, runner at second for Jake Griffith. The quick relay prevented Saladino from advancing, but Tampa's already brought 2 runs home in the bottom of the 8th.
Pitching number 21, Jake Tour.
Originally, Valdez entered the game. A pitching change meant that Griffith then got changed back into the game, which is, I think, what caused the deliberation back in the 7th inning. And now, as we've rolled all the way back around, Urso's going to make another try. And now in the game is Jake Turr. So far for the Spartans, he's had 2 at-bats. He had a base hit. And he's going to get ahead 2-0 against the left-hander Collins. Collins has gotten 2 outs. One of them did bring home a run on the sac fly. Can he end the inning cleanly? Fouled away. The 2-1 bounced on the ground. Will be a close play at first on the hop. Huffman's throw in time. Good hustle by Turr, but Huffman makes another good play to retire the side. 2 runs, 4 on 2 hits for the Spartans. We're headed to Last Chance Saloon. Alfonso trying to get save number 3. We'll be right back.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. AA Division II athletics program.
In the ninth inning for the Quincy University.
Alfonso back on the mound. Vital, Deloff, and Broughton due up. 3 more outs and Tampa will win the series and secure a 4-0 win to wrap up the Greek week game, as that's strike 1 from Alfonso. He gave up a hit but also had a strikeout in a clean inning in the previous frame. Swing and a miss, 0-2. The 0-2 from Alfonso. Swing and a miss, another strikeout. 1 away in the top of the ninth.
Center fielder, Ben Dog.
Deloff ready to go now. The righty taking on the righty. He is 1 for 3 today. Last time out, singled in the 5th. That bunt knocks off of himself and goes foul. 0-1. So 1 count for Deloff. Missing away, 1-1. Hit to third, gets past Karstetter on the hop. Unfortunate for Karstetter. And Quincy has a runner aboard with 1 away. They still need a few more base runners to try to complete the comeback. Pinch runner coming in for Deloff. Interesting call here, as Deloff is one of the faster players in this Quincy lineup. But Coach Schissel trusting in a different player here, Jack Haggard, the sophomore from Key West. Now Broughton's at the plate. And now Alfonso getting ready with 1 away. First pitch, strike 1. Broughton's last at-bat saw him got aboard on an error. That was the lone error the Spartans have had today. That'll miss, 2-1. Irigoyen picks it up quickly. Two and two now for Broughton. Double play opportunity there for the Spartans. Will be hard to force. I don't think either team has gotten a double play this weekend. Strike 3, great location for Alfonso. 2 away in the top of the ninth. Mateo, the last chance right now for the Hawks. First pitch from Alfonso. Strike one. Great spot for the fastball. Not only is it very well located, it's very tough to hit. That's going to miss as well, 1-1. Alfonso getting set the 1-1 count. That hits the zone, 1-2. And now Quincy down to their final strike. Mateo gone on board 3 times today, trying to make it 4. Outside, ball 2. That's going to miss as well. 3-2. Full count with 2 outs. Not the highest of stress situations yet, as even a home run would only make it a 4-2 ball game. But I know Alfonso would like to close the door right here. Payoff pitch to Mateo. Did he go? No, he didn't. Ball 4. Good take by Mateo. 2 aboard, 2 away. Another try now for Quincy to score a run. Huffman to try to do it. That's going to be strike 1. Big strike to open the at-bat against Huffman. Here's the 0-1. Hit sharply to third and caught by Carstetter. He missed the first ball, hit his way in the ninth. He gets the second. He ends the game by saying, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not gonna happen." Tampa takes the series with a 4-0 win here in Game 3. Jake Stipp gets the W on the mound and improves to a 3-0 record. 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. Fletcher gets a hold, and Alfonso picks up save number 3. The loss will go to Drager. A solid 3 2/3 inning effort, and the bullpen did well rest of the way. Top player on offense for the Spartans certainly would have to be Maddox King with his 2 hits and RBI. But I think Stipp definitely gets player of the game honors for his performance. I'm Taylor Storley. Thank you again for Raj for joining me for half an inning, and for Alex Dollard for running the show. We'll see you next Friday on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.